So in this online lecture, what we're going to start trying to make sense of is how to write organized topic sentences, how to take all these textual examples that you've gathered in your association journal and group them into paragraphs in your essay and to write really effective topic sentences. So one of the first things you should take note of is that your CA book is a really great resource because it has so many more examples and explanations of how to write topic sentences. So I would really make note of these page numbers, and I would really lean on them as you're working on your topic sentence organization form for the Odyssey. So our specific objective here is to be able to write effective topic sentences that are going to be organized according to either time, place, idea definition, idea categories classification, idea analogy comparison, cause effect, and or comparison contrast. And I stress and or to really stress that you can certainly do a combination of any of these methods, as I'll stress here at the end of the lecture. In other words, you can organize your topic sentences according to, for example, time and place. So something to keep in mind. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give you our first key concept here, and that is that an effective topic sentence has two primary components or parts. So just like a thesis statement has to have specific parts in it, for a thesis statement we have to have three parts in it: a subject, a topic, and an associative claim. A topic sentence has to first have a really effective organizational choice. And so that is the part of the sentence, it's language in the sentence that you're using to show the reader or to tell the reader how you're organizing or grouping the evidence into your body paragraphs and thus your essay. The second component or part that a topic sentence has to have is an aspect of a thesis statement or of your thesis statement. And basically what this is it's words in your topic sentence that you're using to really explicitly connect back to your thesis statement. In other words, it's oftentimes just words that are synonymous with the association words that you have in your claim, in your thesis statement. Topic sentence in the end has these two very important parts. So the formula for a very effective topic sentence then is an organizational choice plus an aspect of a thesis statement. So again, you have 7 ways that you can organize your topic sentences. And the first way that you can organize is according to time or chronology. And if you see these sentences in your table on your graphic organizer, I'll make sense for you how these particular topic sentences here are organized according to chronology. So all it means to organize according to time or chronology is that you're going to organize your evidence according to when it happens in the text. So in other words, you're going to organize it according to stanzas, maybe if it's a poem, chapters if it's a novel, books, sections, acts if it's a play. In our case, you have a couple of options. You can organize your examples according to the books, in this case of the Odyssey. Another option is that you can organize your examples according to the parts of the Odyssey, for example, the Telemachy, the Revenge, etc. So chronology is just simply when did your examples occur in the text. You can group them into paragraphs according to that. So if you look at these model topic sentences here, what you'll notice then is that this blue language here, that's where the writer has signaled their organizational choice. In this case, chronology. They've grouped their examples according to Chapter 1 and according to Chapter 3 of this particular novel, which in this case is Lord of the Flies. And then what they've also done is they've had to be sure to use language that connects us back to the thesis statement. And so all this green language here is connecting us back to both the claim and also to the topic that's in that sentence. So be sure that you highlight both the organizational choice and the aspect of the thesis in these topic sentences. A second way that you can organize your evidence into your topic sentences and thus your body paragraphs is to group your examples according to particular places or settings. And so I'll show you how that's done in these particular sentences. So all it means to organize your evidence according to place or setting is now, instead of organizing it according to when it happens, which is chronology or time, you're going to organize it according to where it happens in the text. So what specific location, what specific setting did the evidence happen in? So if you look at our example topic sentences here, what you'll notice is that this blue language, the writer has decided to organize their examples according to very particular locations. So the evidence in the first body paragraph is organized according to the home of Joe and Mrs. Joe in Great Expectations. In the second body paragraph, it's organized according to the Pockets' home. And then we see them do a very good job of connecting back to the idea of virtues and vices in the thesis statement. This language of truth, innocence connects back to virtues, and then idleness and self-centeredness connects back to vices. So be sure that you label the organizational choice here, that is the places, the setting, and the aspect of the thesis statement, this green highlighted language. So while time and place, those two organizational methods are pretty straightforward, it starts to get pretty complicated now, or more complex I should say, with your options for how to organize according to idea. You have 5 ways that you can organize your evidence according to idea, and the first option being organizing according to definition. So be sure that you read these sentences carefully here and the thesis statement, and I'll explain exactly how they organize according to definition in these sentences. So all it means to organize according to definition is that what you're going to try to do is that you're going to try to define an idea from your thesis statement. In other words, you're really going to try to define a very specific word or a really specific phrase that's in the thesis statement. And you're going to have a different definition, and I really stress a very different definition in each topic sentence. So let's take a look at these topic sentences organized according to definition, and I'll explain to you how exactly they execute this organizational pattern. So in this thesis statement, and specifically in these topic sentences, what this writer has decided to do is define this idea of leadership in each topic sentence. And so this blue highlighting, these are the definitions that they've decided to name in each topic sentence. And so the first definition of leadership is an ability to restrain emotion. And then the second definition of leadership is recognizing that those who commit crimes must receive consequences. So they have really 2, and again, very different, very distinct definitions in each of these topic sentences. And then you also notice that they're doing a good job of really explicitly connecting back to the thesis statement. And then these definitions inherently connect back to that language in the thesis statement. So these are really well executed topic sentences organized according to definition. And it's really important that you make note of the fact that the only way that you're really going to determine definitions is to really rely on your evidence in your association journals. And you have to have a pretty good idea that there is some definition there that you can focus on. So it is a pretty complicated way to organize, but it's a really effective way that you can organize topic sentences. So a second way that you can organize your evidence according to idea is classification categories. And so read these sentences carefully here, and I'll show you how the writer has classified or categorized an idea from the thesis statement. So all it means to organize according to categories or classification is you're going to classify or categorize an idea from the thesis statement. Again, maybe it's a single word, or maybe it's a phrase, a group of words. And you're going to have a really distinct category in each topic sentence. Again, a really different category in each topic sentence. So really now, instead of defining an idea from a thesis statement, you're going to try to categorize or classify it. So these topic sentences are organized according to categories, classification, and specifically what the writer is trying to do is categorize or classify this idea, location in the journey toward maturity. And so the first category is this blue language here, impressionable stage of childhood, and then the second category is the contemplative stage of pre-adolescence. And so he or she has named these very distinct classifications or categories of this journey toward maturity. And then what you also see them doing really well is using language that connects us back to the language in the thesis statement. And so we have a really effective topic sentence because they signal classification really well, and then they're being sure that they're using words to constantly connect us back to our claim and our topic and our thesis. So a third option for idea is analogy comparison. And so here we have a really excellent thesis statement for the Odyssey, and then topic sentences in support of the thesis statement. So read these sentences very carefully, and then I'll explain how the writer is organized according to analogy here. So all it means to organize according to analogy comparison is that you're trying to compare some aspect of the text to another text, or maybe even to a real-world issue. And so you're trying to organize your examples for comparison. And so you have some options for how you can do this. One option is that you can organize your evidence similarity by similarity. So maybe in the first topic sentence you focus on one similarity between the two items that you're comparing, whether it be two characters or maybe even two settings or two objects. The second topic sentence you can focus on a second similarity, and then the third you can focus on a third similarity, and so on. Another option is just simply to organize item by item, so that in the first topic sentence, let's say, you can organize according to one character, and in the second topic sentence you're going to organize according to a second character. So let's say you're comparing Telemachus and Antinous. In the first topic sentence and body paragraph, you're going to talk about Telemachus, and in the second topic sentence and body paragraph, you'll talk about Antinous. And so if you organize this way, you're pretty much going to imply the similarities between those characters. And that's probably a bad example because there aren't very many similarities between Antinous and Telemachus, but if you organize this way, you're definitely implying the similarities between them. And the last thing that I would say about this particular choice, item by item, is that whenever you write an analogy essay, this is always a really good default choice. If you cannot figure out how to organize according to specific similarities, you can always organize according to this way, item by item. So if you look at these sentences, then what you'll see in this blue language here is that these are all the specific similarities that the writer is going to focus on between Antinous and Eurymachus, the two suitors. So the first similarity that you see here that they name is that they're both demagogues, etc. The second similarity is that they both rule by force. The third similarity is that their positions are not stable. And then the fourth similarity is that they blame their problems of their leadership on others. And so they've chosen that first option of organizing according to specific similarities. And then what you also see them doing is they're constantly really using language in each topic sentence to connect us back to language in the thesis statement. So these are really effective topic sentences for these reasons. So a fourth option for how you can organize according to idea, and this is our sixth option total, is you can organize according to cause-effect. So if you're wanting to write a cause-effect essay, if you're wanting to say that A causes B, then this is how you could go about executing this kind of analysis or this kind of argument. So really, when you write a cause-effect essay, then what you're trying to do is you're trying to organize your examples according to cause-effect pretty simply. And so you have some options for how you can do that. One option is that you can organize cause by effect, so that in one topic sentence, in your first one, you could talk about the cause, and then in the second topic sentence, you could talk about the effect. And so you're going to talk about, these two. You're going to talk about A in topic sentence 1 and body paragraph 1, and B, the effect, in topic sentence 2, body paragraph 2. A more complicated option, a second option would be to organize cause-effect by cause-effect. So, in other words, that means that in each topic sentence, you are going to focus on a distinct cause and effect. So, cause-effect number 1, effect number 1 in topic sentence 1, cause 2 and effect 2 in topic sentence 2, etc. So before we go any further, I really need to stress, though, about this particular kind of argument, cause-effect, that this is probably one of the most difficult essays to write. So I would really caution you, if you think that you're writing a cause-effect essay, I would pretty much say that I'm going to require you to conference with me, because we just need to make sure that you're going to execute it well, because there are a lot of problems that you could run into if you don't have a handle on how to organize in this way. If you're truly not writing a cause-effect essay in the thesis statement, then there can be a lot of problems. So conference with me if you're at all thinking about executing this kind of essay. So if you look at the thesis statement, and clearly this writer is wanting to write about cause-effect. Cause, exploring one's memory. Effect, it brings about self-improvement. And so then what this writer has chosen to do is that he or she is going to focus on a specific cause and effect in each topic sentence. And so what you see here is that first named the cause, A, reflecting on his childhood, and then the effect is understands the importance of empathizing with those less fortunate. And then in the second topic sentence, A, recalls relationship with Belle, and then the effect, the self-improvement, in other words, from the thesis statement that the writer is writing about, the self-improvement that happens underscores the importance of generosity and love. So again, this is a pretty complicated way to organize according to cause-effect, but really effective. So again, if you think you're going to write a cause-effect essay, you really need to conference with me to make sure that you're heading in the right direction with it. And our final organizational possibility for idea, our fifth one for idea, and our seventh one total here, is to organize according to comparison-contrast. So read these sentences carefully, and I'll walk you through how that's being done. So all it means to organize according to comparison-contrast. And understand that a lot of times when we say comparison, we don't just mean similarity, that we're meaning also differences. So when you write a comparison essay, you can focus both on similarities and or differences. So just keep that in mind. So that's basically what your goal is when you're writing topic sentences, is you're going to try to figure out a way to organize your examples according to similarities and or differences. And so here are your options for how to do that. So your first option is that you can organize similarity or contrast by similarity or contrast, so that in each topic sentence you're focusing on a really specific, and I need to stress, very different similarity or difference. And in the second topic sentence, you're going to move on to a second similarity or difference, and then a third, and so on. So this is your first option for how to organize a comparison essay. Another option is just like when you write an analogy essay, you can organize item by item. And so if you're going to contrast, let's say, Telemachus and Antinous, then again, in one topic sentence, you focus on Telemachus, and then in another, you'll focus on Antinous. And this is probably a good time to address a question that might be popping up into your head. Wait, aren't essays supposed to have 5 paragraphs? So you're telling me that I can write an essay with only 2 body paragraphs? Yes, I am telling you that. We're no longer working in that really traditional way that you've been taught how to write essays, which is you've got to have 5 paragraphs always. That's not true. You can write a convincing argument with 2 body paragraphs only. That is possible. And in the end, it really all depends on what your ideas are. It depends on what examples you've found, and it depends on how you're going to organize those examples, because writing is a very organic process, and that's how we approach it in English 1 Honors. So if you look at the sentences, then what you'll notice is that each topic sentence, in this case, they're focused on a specific similarity. And so this blue language that you see here is where they're signaling the organizational choice. So similarity number 1, they're going to write about that they both commit hasty generalizations and slippery slope fallacies, etc. And then the second similarity is that they both commit ad populums and ad hominems, etc. I understand that you probably don't know what this language is. I don't expect you to. These are rhetorical concepts. But anyway, so in each topic sense, they're focused on very distinct and very specific similarities between these characters. And then, of course, in this green language, what they're doing is they're being sure to just use language that connects us back to the thesis statement. There's some other language here that I didn't bold for some reason in green, but prejudice, discrimination. Again, this is really good language because we're connecting back to the very specific idea of prejudice in that sentence. So these very effective topic sentences because we see the organizational choice signaled and we see the connection back to the thesis statement. So let's synthesize the key concepts you've gained from the lecture. Firstly, it's really important that you let your evidence dictate the organization and wording of your topic sentences. This is really going to entail you really examining the evidence that's in your association journal very carefully and basically just treating these 7 organizational patterns as a sort of checklist and check and see, can I group them according to time? Can I group them according to place, etc.? And if you found good evidence, one of these patterns will be there. The second thing that I would stress is that you really need to let your associations in your 3rd column of your association journals, let those associations also help you word your topic sentences. You've gone through all this trouble of finding examples and drawing and doing some thinking and really trying to nail down ideas and association words. The idea now is that you're going to be able to use those ideas in your topic sentences and also in your body paragraphs when you are starting to analyze examples. The third thing that I would stress is the more quality pieces of evidence that you find, when you do a good job on your association journals and finding examples, then the more apparent an organizational pattern is going to become. If you find poor textual examples to support your thesis statement, for example, if your examples are off topic or they're not addressing the idea that's there, then pretty much finding one of these patterns is going to be impossible. So this is all predicated on you finding quality textual examples in order to write good topic sentences. And then the last thing that I would stress is that it is possible to organize your textual examples according to multiple organizational choices. So as I think gave you the example earlier, you could organize your examples according to both time and place. So in each topic sentence, you could signal time and place in each of the topic sentences, and that would be a very effective way to organize evidence. So these organizational methods for topic sentences that I've taught you are pretty much all based on concepts that Aristotle came up with. And so these are really timeless ideas. And the last idea that I would leave you with is this: that if you apply these particular organizational strategies to your topic sentences for any essay that you write in any other class, they will be effective, because these are not concepts that I dreamed up. They are ones that have lasted for a very long time, ones that have been developed by a very important thinker. So this week, your goal will be to begin working on your topic sentence organization form, which I will explain in more detail in subsequent classes, and to be able to write really effective topic sentences with these two very important components: the organizational choice and the aspect of the thesis statement.